Buenos días, raza. ¿Cómo amanecieron? I want to tell you that this morning I got up and I'm having to dust because those 8 little birds cause a lot of dust. And I'm dusting the shelf back there. It has 4 little shelves, like 12 inches wide and about 4 feet. And their cage is in front of them shelves, but I hadn't dusted it since my goose was in here when it was cold. And I think that she's the one that caused all that, but I want to blame them for some of it. So I was dusting, and I'm going to do this video all in English just because a lot of my watchers understand English. So I'm going to do this video in English. I want you all to understand a lot of it. And I have 10 minutes to explain why I decided to go ahead and do this. And while I'm dusting, I found this, and my daughter did some Mod Podge for a party that we had. And on one side it has a saying, and this one says, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. And I was thinking, we come on here and do TikToks or do YouTube, and we want to talk to you all. We want to conversate or have conversations with the people that are watching us. And to us, that's the rainbow. The rainbow to us is being able to communicate with you guys through these means. Okay? Hispanics have a saying about women, and it's viejas ventaneras, women at the window, y argüenderas, and gossipy, or gossipy women at the window. Okay? And this one says, if you want the rainbow, you have to put up with the rain. On the other side, it has a picture of my best friend Alan, my mom, me, my cousin Mirna, and me, and my daughter Mod Podge this on here. This man has been my best friend for 4 decades, almost 4 decades. And me and him have gone through a lot. My marriage, my divorce, his marriage, his divorce, his second marriage. And, it's like, I love those rainbows. I love to be able to say, hey, don't make me choose between that man and you, because my friendship with him has withstood a lot of storms. Okay? And right now, the south of Texas is going through a storm on the internet. And basically, it's about women that don't know where the line is between you're being nosy, you're harassing, and you could be the reason your harassment and your being nosy could be the reason that somebody is now not here. And that's a big storm for anybody. But it's so much easier now than when the Hispanics were saying all these women are just gossipy and always at the window. Now we have the social women that are not just at the window and limited to their neighbors for gossiping. Now they're in the World Wide Web, slandering and saying things that are not true and not even caring if it's true or not, because they want views. And it's like, okay, But what concern is it of yours, what's going on in that family? Or what concern is it of mine, what's going on in this other family, right? Of course, it concerns everybody if I say I'm not giving anybody angel wings just because they passed away. And I've said that plenty of times. Just because somebody passes away doesn't change the fact that they were mean, ugly, and they did things they weren't supposed to when they were alive. And you're going to forgive them because they're not any longer here? The only reason that you're forgiving them is because you were not in the shoes of the person that they were causing all the shit to. And of course, you can argue with me as much as you want, but there's a few MFs here that have died and do not deserve angel wings, and I don't think they were in heaven when they died. And I'm not being a judge, I'm just saying it how it is, If you're gonna be a mean person and not have nothing better to do but to be mean, I'm sorry, I'll be the first one to not put your angel wings on you and tell everybody I'm not giving you angel wings just because you died, motherfucker. It ain't gonna happen. I'm just saying, if you're gonna want a rainbow, you do have to put up with rain. You do have to put up with storms. But a lot of people on the internet put up with more than storms. They put up with slander. They put up with bullies. They put up with a lot of stuff, because the other person isn't getting as many views, or the other person is only getting the views when she's being a bully, or the other person doesn't have any content. And talking about you or your relatives or somebody that passed away in your family will give them content. I'm just here to say, hey, you're not going to get any angel wings from me just because you passed away. And if you want that rainbow, sometimes you do have to put up with the rain. Even if that rain comes with ice on it, or hail on it, you do have to put up with it. And if you're not believing that, you could be turned into ice because you don't have a birth certificate stating that you're from here, then you have to prove it to them, right? So that's another thing we're dealing with. Now the state of Texas got a new law that the sheriffs can stop you for any reason and tell you, do you have your birth certificate and any identification stating that you belong here? And as soon as you say, well, I have to go find it, they're going to follow you, because if you don't find it, like within a reasonable amount of time, they're going to turn your ass into ice. Homeland Security and the counties in the state of Texas have joined forces because that little redneck up there, the carrot top that we have in the presidency, has signed a new bill, and so has Greg Abbott. So now you have to carry your birth certificate with you if you're the wrong shade. And I am saying it that way. You're either black or white to get away with anything around here. If you're in the middle and you're brown, guess what? You better carry your birth certificate, because you're going to be having to prove that you're from here, and a driver's license might not be enough. So you see what gossipy and window women can do when the internet is a World Wide Web now? I think this message has gone to a lot of people and will go to a lot of people, and not just stay in the neighborhood anymore. So that makes me laugh. Just remember, if you want a rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.